Hey everyone. We are on live for our Friday podcast slash live stream. I'm just going to share this in a couple of places and then we're going to dive right in to the content, the topic. Okay, I can hear myself. I like to always make sure I can hear myself. So give me just a second, guys, and then we'll dive in. Cool. Awesome. So if you guys are hopping on live, I know a lot of people have been kind of excited for this live stream today. So do me a favor and just drop in the comments where you are tuning in from, what city, what state. Let us know where you are in the world. Say hello. And for me, I'm in Eastern time zone, so it's 8 p.m. And I know for Sabrina, it's early in the morning. I think you're 12 hours ahead. So good morning, Sabrina.
Good morning.
Awesome. Cool. So I shared this in my group, so I think we're good to go. So yay, this is our second episode of our Journey to Six Figures live stream podcast. And I'm super excited today. So basically, if you guys are new to this podcast, basically the intention behind it is to really help you guys gain expert knowledge and learn, from people who have successfully scaled their own online business and really help you guys get to not only hit that six figures mark, but also exceed it as well. So I'm your host. If you guys don't know me, Lexi Schaefer. I'm a business strategist and success coach for trailblazing entrepreneurs. And today I'm so excited that we're actually interviewing my business coach, Sabrina Philipp, who I'm super excited to share her bio with you guys. So hi, Sabrina. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Lexi. I'm so excited to be here. And I see Laureen tuning in. So hey, Laureen.
Yay. Hey, Lisa. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Riley. So many people hopping on. This is so great. Awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and share Sabrina's bio because it's killer. And then we'll dive right in. So Sabrina, if you guys don't know her, she is an international online business and social media expert. She has started and scaled 2 successful businesses. Her first one was a social media agency. And then her current practice now is online coaching. So not only does she provide her entrepreneurial clients with spiritual support, but also strategic support as well. And those are the 2, key elements to really help somebody develop a thriving business and a fulfilling life. So Sabrina works with clients through personalized coaching, group programs, in-person retreats, and mastermind experiences. So stay tuned for all this goodness she has coming our way. She's also a passionate dog rescuer and has fostered 8 dogs this year, which I can't even imagine 8. I have 3 right now because I'm watching my boyfriend's brother's dog, and it's a lot of animals. So wow, 8, that's amazing. And she also, her company donates a portion of their profits to promote animal welfare in Southeast Asia. So that's really incredible as well. So currently living in Bali, Sabrina is on a mission to see the world while she changes the world, one entrepreneur at a time. Her loyal community of over 10,000 business owners follow her closely to see where in the world she'll inspire them from next. So thank you again, Sabrina. I absolutely love your story, and I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you, Lexi. It's so exciting just to, be on the show and to, as your coach, to see you have this opportunity and just to be able to inspire so many people.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so fun. So one thing I did was I left a question in my group, Liberated Entrepreneurs, to ask them, if they had any questions for you. So I want to start with some of those because I think they're really good. So the first one that I received was a question about how you originally got started with your social media agency. And then what was your biggest struggle with that?
Definitely. So the first way that I got into online business was just taking quick jobs. So things like writing social media posts for $12 an hour. And I was having a lot of clients get amazing results. So I started moving toward the more social media agency route where it was more specialized as opposed to like general VA work. But I think, beyond that, I think what inspired me to get into social media was that I had a lot of experience running social media campaigns and helping them go viral organically, which is something I also did again for myself recently when I had a Forbes feature come out about me. So definitely I would say previous experience is something that really pushed me into that. And it's something that I was passionate about and really enjoyed. And I would say, to answer your second question, my biggest struggle with the social media agency was just feeling like I had to produce so much content all the time for other people, which is why I prefer consulting and coaching so much more, just because I can come in and sort of walk people through and help them understand their own blocks, find their own solutions, as opposed to an agency where you come in, create everything for that person, which is amazing because you can step into who they are, speak as that person, but at the same time, it's a lot of work, and then you have to get people underneath you, and it scales very quickly, but it also reduces your profit margins just because it's so much work and you have to hire so much.
Yeah, totally. I can see that happening. Awesome. So Michelle said, yay, my question. So that was part one of her question. And then the second part is also from her. Hi, Trisha. I also want to let you guys know, whoever's hopping on live or the replay, if you guys share this video, you're going to be entered to win a free strategy session with me. So go ahead and share this if you think people will enjoy this video, and I will be excited to draw somebody to win that. Cool. So the second part of that, how did you make the jump from, owning this successful social media agency to then doing more of the consulting work?
Yeah, so I think that it wasn't just like I completely went from social media management, social media agency to consulting like that. I was doing social media consulting at the time, so it was both the management and the consulting side. So I was already familiar with securing consulting clients, how to structure programs to make sure that they see results. I had done a social media group program, so I was very familiar with coaching and consulting to begin with. So it didn't feel too scary for me. And also I had a lot of my social media clients asking me for more general, broad business consulting because they were impressed with the growth of my business. And so they wanted to know what I was doing for myself. And so after I did that, I was very easily able to make the transition to business coaching.
Totally. I love that. So it sounds like you really did a good job at listening to your market. Like, they were telling you that they wanted coaching. And so that was kind of how you knew it was time to deliver.
Absolutely. And I think anytime we hear something from our market over and over again, if it feels good for us, it's a hint that something needs to shift, because it was the perfect fit for me. And if I hadn't have listened to that, then I might still be running a social media agency. And I don't think it would be as fulfilling or as profitable as what I'm doing now.
Totally. That makes perfect sense. Awesome. Thank you. I see a couple people shared the video. So awesome. Keep sharing, you guys. That'll be really fun for somebody to win a strategy session. And then also just type shared in the comments. That way we can keep track a little bit better. And then if you guys have any questions, since you're on live with us, drop them in the comments, and then we can kind of add that to all the questions we're going to go through. Hi, Cody. Awesome. So this next question is from Riley, who I adore. I met her in B school. And Riley wanted to know from you, what is the most important or crucial part of being a leader and a badass business owner?
Totally. So I love this question. It's something I was talking about with my friend the other day. But I think if you really want to be a leader, you have to go where people might not follow, right? Because it's not about doing what other people want you to do or doing what's going to amass the most following. It's about doing what you absolutely, totally, 100% believe to be true, right? It's what you think is best. It's what you think is important. And if you just follow that, if you lead with that, then the right people will follow you. But if it's only ever about how much of a social media following can I get, how many people in my group programs, how much money can I make, then yes, you might be seen as a leader, but you're not actually standing for something, right? That's the entire premise of leadership. It's somebody who has the courage to stand for something so that the people who are following you, they don't need to have that same level of risk or visibility, right? And it's your responsibility to be their advocate and to show them the better way. So I think that if you're not standing for what you believe to be true, and if you're not telling the truth about, who you are and what you want, then I don't think you're a leader. I think that you're just a follower leading a bunch of followers.
Totally. Yeah, you really kind of have to almost like put blinders on from what other people in your industry might be doing, and really tune into like what feels good to you and what, converts, right?
Totally.
Awesome. Cool. So another question from Claire, who is in your group program that you have going on right now. She wanted to know, how did you decide on the right next action? Or, how do you decide on what to focus on next?
Yes. So I think this is a great question just because the answer is very paradoxical. So on the one hand, I like to plan out. So Lexi is my private client, so she knows that we like to plan at least 3 months out, right? We like to know what's coming up. Because, for example, if you are planning Q1 2018 on January 1st, then you've already lost, right? We need to be thinking about this in now. That's when we need to be planning for it. So I plan the right next action by knowing long-term what I want, but I also do it just by focusing on the immediate next step. So it's not that even though I want to launch something 3 months from now, that I need to be doing that 10th step in order to get there. I just need to know immediately today, right in the second, what do I need to do to get closer to what I want? So have that long-term vision, but just focus on immediate action is what I would recommend to Claire.
Yeah, that's so good. Cool. So in terms of client acquisition, so there's a lot of people who are, service-based entrepreneurs, coaches, who are struggling to, have a booked out calendar and have those one-on-one clients. If someone is starting there, what is your biggest tip on reaching out to prospective clients to, convert them into some sales?
Right. So I think the biggest thing here is that if somebody is going to sign up with you as a coach or a service provider, then they need to have a level of trust in you. And it's trust that you can give them enough value that you will facilitate a transformation that's going to get them more of what they want. So first, we need to understand what is it that they want. We need to understand what do they consider valuable, and we need to understand how we can build trust with that client. And if we can go through that process, whether it be in sharing valuable content for free online or in a discovery call, if we can truly deeply understand that prospective client, then it becomes so much easier to turn, a potential client into a paying customer.
Yeah, totally. I think trust is huge. It's funny, and I kind of am laughing a little bit at myself because when I reached out to you to have a call, in the back of my head, I didn't have any intention on, hiring a coach at that point. I've already invested so much in my business. But I was so drawn to all the free value you were providing me just freely online that I had to get on a call with you. And then, once that happened, it was I knew I had to work with you, right? And it's very much like an energy exchange. And I think that's always something I recommend to people, like if they're looking at a coach or someone who's going to provide a service in their business, to really kind of lead by trusting your gut.
Totally. And maybe this is something you can speak on, but I think we always get the best results when we follow something that we're drawn to, as opposed to something that our logical brain says, this is going to work, or this is going to be successful, or this seems like a good idea. And so maybe it does seem like a good idea, but does it get you the best results?
It's so true. Yeah. No, I can. Oh, go ahead.
Or is it what feels good that gets the best results? What is it you're drawn to?
Yeah, totally. Because, your heart is telling you one thing, your gut and that initial reaction may be like, oh my God, I want to spend this money to work with this coach. But your brain is like, oh my God, no, but sometimes I think you almost, it propels you to that next level because you start to you just affirm to the universe that you're ready for more when you're investing in yourself and your business. That, I don't know, it's like this whole support from the universe just rises up with you. It's really exciting.
Totally. And I think also one thing is, as coaches or service providers, if you're not willing to invest at a certain level, how can you expect other people to invest that same amount into you? Right? So it's like you want to build a $100,000 business, but you want to sign up for a $500 course or a $1,000 course, right? It doesn't match up. That's not to say you have to spend $100,000, but are you showing up like a six-figure business owner? Are you showing up like a multiple six-figure business owner? Or is your fear still getting in the way?
Yeah, totally. I know I had an epiphany in my life when I realized I was transitioning away from teaching yoga privately, doing life coaching, and really stepping into, my corporate background in digital marketing, but combining that with coaching. And then I had this moment where I'm like, okay, I'm doing business coaching now, but I haven't had a business coach one-on-one. Sure, I've done all these trainings. I studied it in college, but I knew that if I wanted to rise up as that successful, business coach, I needed to really invest in one. That, the investment was a little bit scary, but it was just, I knew it was the right next step,
Absolutely.
Cool. So, hey, Sarah, I see you hopped on. Anna. Oh, this is a great question from Anna. Sabrina, do you have a coach?
Absolutely. I have a coach. I've been working with the same coach since February. And it's actually amazing because we've kind of like alternated being each other's clients, because she was one of my social media clients, where I helped her with her Pinterest, and then I hired her as a coach. And then I helped her with her social media again. And now she's been my coach, and she's amazing. So yes, I love working with a coach, just because I think we all have different levels of support that we need, and we're always going to keep growing, because if you're not growing, you're dying. And so I think that just having a coach, it's exactly what Lexi said, it's just affirming to the universe that you're ready for more, you're ready to rise up.
Yeah, totally. I love that. Awesome. Cool. Jennifer said, it was so hard to put in my credit card information and invest in myself. I've received way more than I expected. Everyone needs a coach, life and business. I have no regret investing in myself. Yeah, that's awesome.
Absolutely.
Cool. So I see we have a couple of new people hopping on live. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Anna, Jennifer. Amazing. Again, if you guys share this video, you're going to be entered to win a strategy session with me. And that's going to be solely based on client acquisition in your business. So that'll be fun. Share this video, type shared in the comments if you would like to win. And let's go into a couple more questions. Okay. Perfect. I think this one's really good. I'm excited to ask you this one. So if you were to do it all over again, like let's say, let's go back to when you had $800 and you moved to Bali. If you were to do it all over again, start back with that space. What advice would you give to yourself as a brand new entrepreneur?
To be honest, I'm actually very proud of how I started. I think the biggest thing I would say is don't let other people derail the path that you're on. Don't let other people kind of knock your success or knock your confidence. Just because when I started, I invested in a coach almost immediately. Oh, thank you, Anna. She said, congrats on your 100K month. I invested $3,600 for 6 weeks of coaching almost immediately. I was working so hard, so much, so many hours, just doing everything I could. So I really think that I just went all in gung-ho. And I think that's why I was able to be so successful so quickly. So I don't think it's necessarily what would I do at the beginning differently. I think it's more what would I do in the middle. And so where I kind of faltered in the middle is I would let other people knock my confidence or make me think that even though I had some success, it wouldn't be sustainable or that it wasn't enough. And so that's when I really was doubting myself, because when you first start something, you're excited about it, you're passionate about it, maybe you're a little bit nervous, but there was something that inspired you to take that action. So you stay in that energy for a bit. But it's as time trucks on and it gets a little bit more silent, that you then start to have the real freak out of, oh my God, what am I doing? And it's like, yeah, I've been successful, but will that happen again? And that's where the imposter syndrome comes up. It's not in that initial first moment. It's a little bit further down the track. So what I would say is just to, really stand tall in who I am and not let other people's opinion influence what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's really good. And it's something I think it's important at any point in your business, whether you're brand new, you're an aspiring, entrepreneur, or like you said, if it's, in the middle of, you've maybe started a year ago or something, you have, I think, mindset work that you always have to kind of level up to and go through. And I think that definitely advances as you do. So I know for you, like you just had your largest month in October. How has that been like to take in mentally that like you hit this huge milestone?
Yeah, it's been amazing just because I'm about to launch something. And so the numbers that I had thought I would make, I'm now doubling. So I think it's not just about like, oh, it's amazing, I have all this money and all this success and I've kind of hit this milestone of a 6-figure month. I think it's more just it influences the way you look about your entire business. Because in 2018, I thought, oh, I'll make $1 million. Now I'm thinking like, oh, I think 2 million is probably going to be what we hit. So it just opens up your vision a lot more, which I think is the most exciting part, just because what I thought was possible for myself was already pretty big. And now it's just immense. So I think that's what I'm most grateful for, just kind of like that evidence from the universe that I'm on the right path and that things are just going to, keep going bigger and bigger.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. That's so good. So I know we both have background as yoga teachers. So that's something I think is super important for entrepreneurs to have, not necessarily a yoga practice, but some sort of like self-care, mindset work that they do on a regular, consistent basis. Yeah. Can you share any of your favorite tools or tips when it comes to mindset?
Yes, definitely. So one easy mindset, what do you call it? Trick? I was confusing trip and trick, and I was like, that's not the word. One easy mindset trick that I always teach is something I call 333, which is basically 3 things that you're grateful for, 3 things that you desire for that day that you want to call in, and 3 things that you need to do in order to be successful. So if you can kind of make that mental list, it'll put you in a really good place energetically, just because you're saying what you're grateful for, you're feeling a little bit better, you're not feeling as much fearful, and then you say, what is it that I want from the day? So you're getting really intentional about what you want to call in. And then finally, you're just saying, okay, well, what do I need to do to be successful? Or what do I need to do to get me more of what I want?
Those are good. I love that. And I started 333 last month, and that really helped me stay focused, not just with my goals and what I wanted to call in, like what I was affirming, but it also made me really like latch into the action that I had to take. And I love that you speak about that so much, not just having the mindset behind it and the affirmation, but really having that action to follow.
Absolutely. Because what I've noticed is a lot of my clients, specifically private coaching clients, tend to be women entrepreneurs who are a little bit more on the spiritual side, who have been told over and over and over again that it's all about energy, right? It's just energy. It's just mindset. And yes, like as someone who's a yoga teacher, as someone who's very spiritual, I think energy is massively important. But as a business owner, I understand that it's energy plus strategy, right? You cannot think and grow rich. Like you have to think, take action, and then you grow rich. Like it's both. So we have to have both the mindset and the movement in order to manifest.
Yeah, mindset and movement. I love that. So Anna asked, how does a perfect day in the life look like for you? It's a fun one.
It is. So I travel a lot, which I think is really fun just because I'm always in new places. So this past month I was in Hong Kong, Singapore, and Thailand, and I live in Bali. So that's where I currently am. And I take 1 week off work every month where I don't do private client calls. I'll still hop into base camp. So I think as a whole, my month looks really nice just because I have that time off. But for a day-to-day thing where I'm working, I really just like getting up and going to some sort of cafe, getting a smoothie bowl, taking my dog for a walk, who's now sleeping on top of all my clothes, and just hopping on a few client calls. So I have limits set in my scheduling system that you can't book a call with me without 48 hours notice because I don't like that last minute surprise. And like if I have that hour blocked off to go get a massage or something, I don't want to have to move that around last minute because somebody else is freaking out last minute. And so I'll only take 5 calls per day maximum, unless it's something like my VIP group coaching clients, then I'll do like 11 or 12 calls, but they're half an hour, so I can kind of pump through them. And then, going to dinner with my boyfriend, we always go to, new different restaurants, so every night is date night. So definitely that's a perfect day.
And I heard a rumor that you may start vlogging.
Yes. Definitely. So my boyfriend is really big into the vlogging and YouTube scene, and he has all these drones, just does crazy drone footage shots. So since we're going to be traveling full time together now, we're going to Australia in a week, and then we'll be going to Europe in 3 weeks, and we'll be there for like 2 months. I was like, I should just start like a weekly vlog, and so he's going to be filming that for me, and I'm really excited for that. And I think also producing more video content is so, so important in this current social media climate.
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, Randy. He says, hello, first time seeing you. Awesome. Michelle had a question. How are you able to serve so many clients and have those clients feel like they're really getting to work with you?
Yeah, so I think the big thing here is just, first, I think there's this kind of like limiting belief that I can only hold space for so many clients, right? So I hear a lot of people say like, I only want to serve 3 clients, or I only want to serve 5 clients. And anything more than that, I just get energetically drained. And so I am currently supporting 12 private clients and 11 VIP group coaching clients. So all 23 of those have access to me in Basecamp. And then I have 128 students in a group program. So I think that's like 150 people, 140 people. So I'm supporting all of them right now. And obviously there's different levels of support for each one, right? So a group coaching client doesn't have the same access to me that a private client does, just like a private client and VIP group coaching, also different levels. So I think one is understanding who to prioritize responding to and things like Basecamp or email. But then also my clients, like they still get on their calls with me. It's not like we don't have time every week for everyone to get on a call with me and, oh, you have to wait till next week. If they wait till the last minute and they can't find their preferred slot, then maybe they have to wait. But we put, so much time available. So everyone's still able to get their call. I was sick this week, so I'm a little behind on Basecamp messages. But usually everyone hears from me within 24 hours, and I like to keep it closer to 12. So I think that people still definitely feel supported, and I see that in the testimonials. I see that in the results that people are getting. Those numbers are nuts. Oh my God. Yeah, so I can see how it would feel that way for people. But for me, I think what I'm realizing is just that's part of scaling, right? So like before, it was very nice for me to feel like, oh, I'll only work this many hours. I'll only serve this many clients. This is how much I want to make. So this is how much I'm going to charge. Now it's just like constantly going up. And so I understand my limit. Like I know what to cap myself at. And then after that, it's not, oh, I'll stop. It's, oh, how can I serve more people without losing a bunch of time. So that's things like group programs or video trainings or master classes. So there's always a way to serve more people. And I think that is the essence of scaling, right? It's not about making more money. It's about serving more people.
Yeah, totally. And I think, sometimes we get excited. We look at, okay, we want to max out at 12 private clients, right? But I think it's something you almost kind of grow to. So like, I know when I first started, like I just wanted 3 one-on-one clients, right? Like that was all I wanted. That was my dream. And then once I hit that, I was available for more. I could take on more. I felt like I could support more people. I had honed my craft as a coach even better. And then I think you just, and it's like increments, you just grow. Would you say the same like for your business now?
Absolutely. And I think it's not just how much, or actually it is because it's all related, right? It's like, how much can I support? How much can I receive? The number of clients, the amount of money, the goodness, the happy feelings, the relationship, the puppies in Bali, like all of that, it's all related. It's all about enoughness and like, how much can I take in? And so as you take in some more money and some more clients, you're like, this feels really good. And it becomes the new normal. At some point, it's still exciting and you're still grateful for it, but you don't get that same like buzz that you did when it first happened because it's become the new normal, and that's good. That doesn't mean you're ungrateful. That means that you've really integrated it and you've raised your energetic minimum. And then after that, you can open yourself up for something more. More comes in, it's a little uncomfortable, and then it becomes the new normal, and you keep growing, growing, growing. So I think it's exactly what Lexi said. It's just about growing in increments.
Yeah, totally. Okay, cool. So you have a couple more questions in the comments. As a reminder, again, you guys, if you share this video, just type shared in the comments, and then you guys are going to be entered to win a free strategy session with me. So please share your hearts out. And Isabella said, love the Q&A, ladies. Thank you. Might be a silly question. I doubt that. But how do you go about finding a coach? This is actually a great question, I think. Would you even get one from the start of, at the beginning of idolizing your project to making the right actionable steps, or would you wait until you started?
Amazing question. Hey, Elise. Elise is in my group program. So I hired a coach right off the bat. So immediately I invested in a coach, and after that I invested in a mastermind and then in a coach again. And I've had a coach consistently, basically since starting my business. There might have been a month or two downtime, but I've always had a coach, and I think it's so important. In terms of how I selected the coaches, I really looked at people that I was drawn to and their energy, and can I trust this person? Just because I like that I can see my coach both as a coach and as a friend. I'm going to meet her in Paris in about a month's time, maybe 5 weeks. And so it's nice that I feel so comfortable with her that I can tell her both what's going on in my personal life and my professional life. Hey, Alyssa, because they're connected, right? Everything is connected. Business is personal because it's vulnerable and it's us. So I definitely look for people that I vibe with. I like people who have similar personalities to mine, or people who have something within their personal life that I'm also going for. So one thing that I loved about my coach is that she's so even-tempered and she's so consistent and so stable. And I felt when I hired her, I was very much in the middle of my business. So it was very up and down and rocky and lots of feelings. So I was just drawn to her calmness, and that's what I wanted, right? So I think we choose coaches who have things that we want, whether that be personality, income, social media following, confidence, whatever it is, there's something within your coach that you're being drawn to.
Yeah, I think I definitely agree with all of that. When the first time I hired a business coach was actually when I was still in my corporate job. It was probably like a week after I started my corporate marketing job for a tech company in Detroit. And I knew like right away, I was like, oh shit, I did not mean to end up in corporate. How did I do this? And I needed a way out. And so I hired my first business coach that way. And it was very much the same thing. Like I fell in love with her YouTube videos. And then I just reached out to her and it was a really good fit. And that's kind of how I got started with my first coach. And then, hiring you, like I said, I didn't necessarily think I was in the market for a coach, but then I saw, that transformation you could help me go through. And so, I knew that was the next step for me. So, I think it's all about who you vibe with and who, you trust and can, help you get to that next level.
Absolutely.
Cool. Hey, Elise. Awesome. I know she's in the group program. Karen said shared. Amazing. Great. So these are some really, really good questions. So I have another one for you, Sabrina. In terms of, investments that you've made in your business. So we know that you've, always invested in a coach, and that's been super helpful. Have there been other investments, maybe in your personal life or work related, that you found beneficial?
Absolutely. So definitely from like the professional work side, I have an online business manager and she is amazing. And so I think average right now is about $2,000 a month that I spend on that. And then I also have other virtual assistants. And so I also invest in those, and I'm looking to hire someone new. I want to hire someone in Australia, Asia time zone and someone in Europe time zone. So I'm looking to hire more people. I also have a web designer. I have a copywriter and a Facebook ads manager. I have lawyers. So definitely like there's a lot of people, there's a lot of moving parts, a lot of spinning plates. But it's nice just because they each have their own zone of genius, and that allows me to work on my vision, which is growing my business, creating more content, helping more people. So definitely I've made a lot of investments there, and I'm about to launch something. So the investments are just ramping up. But that being said, though, I expect the return, 100-fold. So I'm totally happy to make it. And then in my personal life, definitely I think investing in time off, investing in travel, nice hotels. I invested in this like relationship program that's like a year-long thing. And I would definitely hire like a long-term private relationship coach. Even though I'm happy in a relationship, I just love what she teaches about like feminine energy and just like inner feeling. And I think that's so important for people who are business owners, because we shift so much into our masculine brain, because that's what we need in order to take massive action, right? Because masculine energy is all about action, feminine energy is all about receiving. So I have to shift into my masculine to run a successful business. But as a woman, I want to like receive and feel good. And so yeah, definitely I've made both investments. And regardless of what the investment is, anytime you invest in yourself, exactly what Lexi said earlier, you're affirming to the universe that you're ready for more, and that you're able to receive this. So I think it's important, whatever it might be, even if it's just signing up for, a scheduling link or lead pages or, your first ever business software. Anytime you make an investment, I think it is going to be returned to you.
Yeah. And what a great mindset too. I start to, anytime I'm looking at investing, whether it's personal or business related, they go together, right? Everything goes back to like life and business. But I think rather than looking at it as a cost, it is an investment, right? Like it is something that you're going to see an ROI on, because, you know, if it's for your health, your relationships, you know, that is going to reflect into your business. People are going to pick up on that energetically. When you take care of yourself, like that's just reflected. And then same thing, like you hiring, you know, experts to manage, you know, different things going on in your business, whether it's on Facebook groups or whatever. You know, I think that makes so much sense as to how you're able to scale, you know, as quickly as you are, is because you're really putting trust into other people to, you know, create a team of support around you.
Absolutely. And I think specifically about business investments, I think, one, first of all, you can write them off on your taxes, right? So if you do want to be making a bunch of money, why not write that off on your taxes anyway? But aside from that, I think the problem where people get tripped up with investments is that they think short-term loss, like, oh, I'm going to lose $5,000 if I invest in this business coach, but they don't think long-term, which is, yeah, but I'm trying to make, you know, $5,000 per month or $10,000 per month. And so in order to do that, I need more information. I need more support, because, you know, nobody taught you how to be an online business owner in college. You probably haven't had a training program for this or a job that was similar to this. So if you would invest in your college education, why wouldn't you invest in yourself and your business?
Yes, I went to 6, I know from experience, I went to 6 different colleges just trying to find like an entrepreneurial program, which is so funny. And I actually did find one, and that's what I like literally got my degree in. But yeah, it's so different when you're investing in people who are literally doing what you want to do online. And sometimes it is scary because you might not have the money up front. You may need to pull out a credit card, right? But if you just trust the process and you know, just decide that there's no turning back and you're going to make it happen, I think just really incredible magic can be made.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So I know you mentioned you have, you're about to launch something soon. Are you allowed to speak on that at all right now, or what's coming up? What's new for Sabrina Philipp?
Yeah. So I'll give some hints, but I'm not giving it all away. But it's launching on Monday. And so this is for people who want to make multiple 6 figures. Because you're going to work with me for a long time. So it's an extended program unlike anything you've seen before. And you're also going to get to come hug me in Bali. So long time in Bali. That's what you need to know.
Yeah. Can't go wrong with that. Oh my gosh. I know. I keep looking at my calendar and I'm like, when am I going to go to Bali and visit Sabrina?
It's a business expense, right? It's a tax write-off.
Yes, so true. That's very, very true. Okay, cool. So I had another question from Allison. So she was curious. She's been a coach now for about a year, and she's kind of struggled with attracting one-on-one clients. So someone who's specifically a coach, what would you say are like best action steps to take to, you know, get people on like a discovery call with you?
Yeah. So I think the big thing here with coaches is we need to understand that there's so many out there, and so many people are just waking up and deciding, I want to be a coach. And so Allison, if you've been doing this for a year, that's not the case with you, right? You obviously really believe this. You know that you're meant to be a coach. You know that you're meant to change lives. So what I would say to you, Allison, is with that in mind, that so many other people are trying to do this, you need to find a way to stand out from the rest of the crowd. And so one easy way to do that is to go ahead and brand yourself and brand your teachings. So for example, I have my intentional, manageable, profitable framework. I have the Intentional Entrepreneur Facebook group. I have the 4 types of social media content. I have the 333 mindset trick. So there's all these different things that I teach about that I find a way to, trademark, brand specific to my business, so that when people hear that, they say, oh, that's Sabrina Philipp. Because I'll see people post in other groups saying, oh, I did 333 today. And they're like, how do you know Sabrina? So it's little things like that where it's just like, I always find a way to bring it back to me. And because of that, other people who receive that value from me will share that information and then grow my business for me. So I would definitely say find a way to brand yourself so that it's specific to you. So I would look at what it is that you're teaching and maybe find a way either to make a framework, which is just the guidelines for what it is that you're teaching. So for example, mine is intentional, manageable, profitable. I help people build intentional businesses that are true to who they are and what they want. So for example, if you want to pick your kids up every day at 3 o'clock from school, you're not going to have meetings every day at 3 o'clock. Or if you want to be traveling the world full time, we're not going to take in-person clients. Manageable is all about systems, support, scaling, and profitable is all about making money. So those are kind of like the 3 big things that I talk about. And when people hear that, they know that it's me. And so a lot of people are saying the same things over and over and over again. So you need to find a way to make it unique to you, Allison.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. You do a great job with branding, not just from a visual standpoint, but like the messaging, what you just talked about. Like, yeah. I talk about 333 all the time, like, and tagging you in posts. Like, I'm like, you guys, this is the best thing I started doing in my business. I love that. So yeah, I think not just having like free content that's extremely valuable for your market, but bringing it back to yourself, branding it. I think that's a huge nugget of wisdom there. Awesome.
Because the
Hi,
way
Nick.
that
oh, sorry.
The way that you convert free content into paying customers is that even when you provide that value, you still need to make it clear that, one, there's more to be learned, there's more to be done, but also that you are the person to facilitate that transformation that they want, right? Because if it's open to, oh, you can do this yourself or anyone can help you with this, then maybe that might be true, but they're not going to be your paying client. So I think it's very important that that's kind of why we brand it back to ourselves, is because we do want to be that person that creates that transformation.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That makes total sense. Awesome. So where can people find you and learn more and get excited for all this goodness that is being released on Monday?
So I would definitely invite you to come join my Facebook group, The Intentional Entrepreneur. We have about 7,500 entrepreneurs in there. So that's a great place to connect with me, or connect with my Facebook business page. Is a great place because I go live there, or just my website, sabrinaphilipp.com. So Lexi will go ahead and type that stuff in there. But what she just put up, The Intentional Entrepreneur, is my Facebook group. And I'll make sure that all the links are in the comments later. But that's a good place to come find me for sure.
Yeah, perfect. Not only, I love that Facebook group so much because not only do you pop in and offer like free coaching threads all the time and just great content and value, but the people in that group are super high vibes, positive, just supportive. I mean, it is this really awesome community that you've created of, entrepreneurs who we're all kind of doing it together. Like there's not competition. We're all like learning from one another and helping each other grow. And so I love it. It's definitely a great group. So everybody go join that for sure.
Amazing. Thank you.
Awesome. So thank you again so much, Sabrina, for hopping on this fun live stream podcast. I'm definitely going to be sure to, get those links for where people can find you in the comments. And then if anybody is hopping on the replay or has questions, you can still pop them down below. And then if you guys share this video, as you know, you will be entered to win a free strategy session with me. And definitely go back and watch this whole video, share your hearts out. And that is all that we have. So this podcast will be available pretty much forever. So make sure to share it. And then that's pretty much all that I have for you guys. We'll be back next Friday and the time will be announced via email. So if you haven't yet signed up to receive notifications, I always send out an email 15 minutes before we go live here. I interview a different business owner every single week on Fridays to really get their insight and story. So it's really, really good to learn more about business and the online marketing world. So thank you again, Sabrina, so much. And I will see you guys later.
Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.
Thanks. Bye, guys.